Hi, everyone. This is Pastor Josh here for your midweek message. Sorry I didn't get to you last week. Some stuff came up, but I'm here this week. And this week, we're kind of doing a culmination of our stewardship campaign. We're doing stewardship as a tradition of Christ, as a St. Paul tradition. And this Sunday, Pastor Drew and I are doing a co-sermon. We're going to preach together. We'll see how that works out. To do a sermon about the tradition for the future. And what does it mean going forward as St. Paul to be a tradition of stewardship and a community of faith? And it got me thinking this week, because I've had some run-ins over the last 3 or 4 weeks about what do we do when we have trouble within our community? What do we do when people are disruptive or people are difficult? How do we maintain the integrity of our community when we say that we welcome all people, and that when we welcome those people in, they make our life messy, they make our life difficult, they create problems, and it's something that I'm struggling with, because I do Bible studies and different events, and a wide swath of people show up. Some very intelligent, college educated, and then just last night I had someone with mental disability. And is everyone welcome? And of course we say immediately, yes, everyone's welcome. But how welcome? What level of welcome do we have? Because it makes our life messy. It's not easy to teach a class that has that wide of a swath of people. What do we do when we disagree? We're in this middle of this budgetary crisis, with the church, where people disagree with how the money goes back and forth, and how do we deal with that? We don't agree about how communion should be, or about how Thanksgiving meal should be set. We have these disagreements, and what does it mean to be the community of faith? Because faith is personal. It's deeply personal. There's no business in it. It's all personal. And yet, we have to find a way to get along. We have to find a way to coexist. We have to find a way in which we can still be the hands and feet of Christ, that we can still love one another in the midst of these difficult situations. And I don't necessarily have an answer to this question, but I think it's a problem that we're not addressing. We just say, hey, everybody's welcome, as long as everybody looks and thinks like me. And that's just not possible. Because there's so many people in the world, and they're not going to look and think like us. They're going to think totally different. And they're going to be totally different. And when Jesus tells us that we're supposed to love the outcast and the widows and the orphans and the people who are the lowest of society, quote unquote, people who don't have protection, who don't have help, how do we do that when it disrupts our lives? It disrupts what we're trying to do. We have an agenda. We're trying to do this or make this happen or reach this point in our study or this. I mean, in all things, how do we do that? We're trying to get paperwork done and things done, and I don't have an answer. I know there's got to be a balance. That there is some things we're trying to achieve here at St. Paul. But I also believe that there are people, and people matter. And so somehow we've got to find a balance in the doing of things and in the loving of people. And if we can't find that balance, if we love people too much, they never are accountable. And if we get things done too much, we end up ostracizing our people. And so we have to find a way in the midst of this to love people while getting things done. And so as we get to Sunday, hopefully we can talk more about that. As we become a community of faith, we're going to talk about the qualities of community and what it means to be people of faith going into tomorrow. And so I hope that helps on Sunday, and I hope to see you there. God bless. See you on Sunday.